Sup, Nerdmigos? I'm the Jive talking nerd, John Norcroft. We've got Wife here. Today we are here for another review, Jive. We're reviewing a movie on Netflix that we literally just got done watching. It's like 10 o'clock at night right now. It's called Deadcon.
Yep.
It came out in 2019. I'm just going to read you the synopsis or whatever the fuck it's called. The tagline. A group of uber-popular social media influencers' trip to a digital media festival grows dark when an evil spirit wants to lure them to their demise.
So...
Which doesn't do a great job exploring
this. Does not do a great job of explaining what's happening.
Let's start with... This was a really good movie.
Yeah. Good lord, guys.
Really...
We were expecting like something kind of campy and
just dumb,
formulaic, and just kind of dumb, but like kind of funny. Yeah. So it's fine. This was
we were totally surprised.
Not only did level
while we were going to pick up the mail, right? So I found it on Netflix while we were going to pick up the mail, and so I read out loud the little synopsis, and we're like, oh, okay, that sounds really good. And then I was like, all right, well, I'll put the trailer up so I could watch the trailer on my phone. So I watched the trailer on my phone while we were driving because we had to
I was driving.
She was driving.
No idea what he said.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She just got to listen to the trailer because my phone was plugged into the car. So she got nothing out of that.
That was let me tell you, if you only
trailers
listen to the
are just
trailer,
fucking sounds, dog.
Yeah,
so,
trailers are just like.
Yeah, like
ambient sound, especially like, for a horror movie. For a horror movie, a trailer is mostly sound effects. It's like ambient sounds.
Yeah, it's just like ambient sound effects, and like people being like, "Oh my god," which we'll get to. There's a lot of things to unpack here. But
oh my gosh, there's so much. Sorry, that was me. Yeah. There's so much. So
I was just like, is something breaking? No,
I just can't contain it all.
So I was like, all right, this looks good.
Yeah.
Right. It's about a bunch of YouTubers getting murdered at VidCon, but it's called whatever, LinkCon or some dumb shit like that. Well, Deadcon's the show,
like,
but the convention's not called Deadcon.
It'll be like very, very B movie.
The convention they went to is not called Deadcon.
Yeah, the movie is Deadcon.
Yes.
The convention was called Viewcon.
Viewcon.
Which is obviously supposed to be VidCon.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
And okay, so this is put on by the people, by Alter is one of the production companies here, and they have like a YouTube channel, and they do these like little tiny short horror movies and stuff like that. They're really good.
Yeah,
so
if you guys like horror and you're doing YouTube, obviously you're doing YouTube. You're here. You're watching us.
Yeah, like you're watching YouTube.
And obviously you like horror. You're here. You're watching this.
Yeah.
So do yourself a favor. Subscribe to Alter. Not everything is a knock it out of the park hit.
But they have some good stuff.
Everything is so good, and it is clear.
Well, or
that
at least
care.
exemplifies an individual thing that's good.
Yeah, and they're all about different things.
A good example is that like this is a really good movie with a lot of very glaring and obvious problems. Right? But it's a really good movie. But the problems are also those problems where, like, you're watching it and you're like, this feels like a bunch of 30-year-olds wrote lines for 18-year-olds that are like hip and cool and rad.
Like the kids who are like uber popular are like super popular like YouTubers or like Snapchatters or whatever it is that you would think.
And Twitter, but they clearly didn't get the right to use YouTube stuff, but they do definitely use Twitter stuff.
Definitely use Twitter.
And there's some kind of like Snapchat-y thing, but they never
also some streaming.
And there's like game streaming, but they never talk about Twitch. And there's like YouTube-y stuff. There's also the standard issue in a movie when somebody's doing something on a computer where they're like, oh hey, we're done talking on this live stream, and then they just close the laptop.
That's not
and
how
you're
that
like,
works.
that doesn't end anything, motherfucker. Yeah. That's not how that works.
Yeah, they like film a video and then they just shut it off.
At one point in time, the girl walks in and sets her laptop down and opens it up, and it's just like, I'm back, guys. And I was just like, bitch, there's like settings and shit you gotta do.
Yeah,
it's not that fucking easy.
Stuff where we're just like, some of that isn't. But it's like people who it's like oversimplification for people who don't know how that stuff actually works, but also kind of poking fun at the way that movies do it. In general, I'm gonna preface this by saying this movie was fantastic, and we definitely need to watch it again because I think that might make it make more sense. But this movie left me with more questions than the questions that I originally had and were answered by the movie. I have a glut of questions about this movie, and I need more.
It's a good movie.
I need another.
It definitely is short. It's only like an hour and a half long.
No, it's less than that. It was an hour and 17 minutes long.
Okay, so an hour and 17 minutes long. So
movie.
It's not super long.
I feel like it felt very rushed in the way that the plot points happened. Like they were running out of budget or something. Well, or they only had a certain amount of runtime allotted to them.
It feels like the movie was maybe like a horror director and like a horror cinematographer, but like maybe not so much of a horror writer or something, because it's just like there's a lot of shit, and I mean a lot of shit, that just doesn't get fucking addressed, that doesn't get answered, and it's not like, oh, they're leaving suspend disbelief in some shit. Like, we don't know what the functions for the haunt is in this, right? So a haunt
so to back it up, it is a haunted hotel room.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a
haunted hotel room that they're not supposed to rent out, and then
they do rent it out. To like a girl doing a Karen.
Also, like maybe the hotel room right next door that shares the door with the hotel room
is also haunted.
We're
not really clear on the rules, because there's like
really no rules are really defined for this haunt. And the weird part is that if this were a slasher, that would be more okay. Right? Because in a slasher flick, theoretically, like, somebody just murdering for the sake of murder makes sense.
Yes, right? But also, like, you have very specific sets of rules in horror movies about who dies, specifically, and who lives, so that you can kind of understand the basic framework there. And haunt movies, like, they also have that. Yeah. But the haunt movie rules are defined by the entity or the ghost that is doing said haunt.
The ghost is haunting this area for a reason.
Yeah, so like the Ring has its own rules, and those rules are different than like what was that one with the aliens, but we thought they were being haunted? Oh no, that one actually was aliens at the end. Never mind.
I have no clue what you're
That's different than like Sinister's rules. It's different than like Annabelle's rules. Now some rules kind of like bleed through across genres. Like if you have sex during a horror movie, you're dead. Just don't have sex during a horror movie.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah, for the most part. So, like, hauntings have their own rules, but this seemed to kind of not only really explain to you what the rules were, but, like, maybe it also broke its rules, because I don't know what the rules were.
Well, it's not that it is or isn't following any horror movie rules. I mean, like, the haunt literally has no definitive lines, right? Yeah. Like, can it possess? Can it not possess? Does it have bounds with how it moves? Does it not have bounds? Where is, who is it killing? Why is it killing? Who the fuck is this? Honestly, what the fuck is going on?
What is the motive behind it?
Well, but in general,
how do you solve
just what the fuck is going on? There's
definitely what is happening.
Other than the fact that people are dying and it's happening in sort of an enclosed space. Yeah. Other than that, you don't really know that it's a haunt, right? I mean, like, it really has no defining characteristics. Like, we have a person's name, right? The kid's name is Bobby. And we have a piece of software, and we have the symbol of the bunny head.
But we also have like that circle-y symbol.
But we also have a circle symbol.
Like the little stick figure things. Yeah. And they don't really explain any of that stuff. Also, like, guys, if you go to a hotel and your room is trashed.
No.
When you go back to the hotel.
If you go anywhere where shit isn't trashed and then all of a sudden it's trashed, go the fuck away.
Go to the authorities.
Just go the fuck away.
An adult. If
you walk into a room and the lights are on and then all of a sudden the lights are off, like as though the power's off, right? You should first always do this with the light switch. Just do back and forth. Just hit it on and off, right? Do it over here, play with these light switches, play with these ones up here, do this shit with the light bulb. These fucking people, these fucking dumb sons of bitches, right? Every time they got their cell phone on, right, and they got like the screen on,
but not the flashlight.
And they're like, it's a dark room, and they're just like doing this shit, like yeah, of course some shit's gonna get you, you dumb bitch.
Cell phones have had flashlights for a long time. I remember when you didn't have a flashlight on a cell phone, you just had to like put it on the internet. Onto like a blank page on like Google or something, so you can use it as a flashlight. But also like, okay, if you go into your room and the room is trash, I'm coming back to this, and first of all, get out, contact the authorities. Maybe there's still someone waiting for you. How did you not learn this? Yeah. Now you have the added piece of the puzzle
any place
is,
you go into.
if this happens to your room was not trashed, you come back, your room is trashed, and there's possibly like demon sigils on the walls painted in blood or in your own lipstick on a bathroom mirror. Not only do you need to get out and contact the authorities, but you also need to contact whatever local priest seems to know about this hotel, because it's clear that they're going to be the ones who are going to tell you how to save this. This movie skipped this plot point and instead mowed right over it and took us into like Loki the Shining mode. Which honestly I was super into.
This is really the problem with the movie, is that the characters are all just dumb.
Well, but people are just dumb.
No. I don't mean like you people are dumb. I mean like the dumbest character in any movie ever. Like, every opportunity they get, every chance they get, they do the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Like, they're so dumb. And for the most part, it's like, okay, they're like, young, I feel like maybe a little bit it's written like young YouTubers are just fucking dumb, so what do you expect? They just, like, it's the walking into the dark room. It's the, like, when you call for maintenance to replace a light bulb because a light bulb blew, and the dude's like, here's the light bulb, and you're like, no, you need to replace it, and he's like, all right, I'm just gonna go right in the door and do this real quick,
and like
then,
doesn't want to
back
do it
out, and you're like, what about the one in the closet? And he's like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that, and just hands you the light bulb and bounces.
Yeah, and like,
don't stay there.
Yeah. Also, if that's more than the second time that someone has like referenced your room with obvious fear, get out. Yeah. Don't stay there. So anyway,
that's what
back to my point with The Shining.
None of the things.
So
happen.
Back to my point with The Shining. When we get to this hotel, we go upstairs to the floor that this kind of like really takes place at, which is the 22nd floor. There's no number thing there, and the room is the haunted room is 2210A, but like the sub haunted room, like the second place haunted room, is connected 2210, right? So when
it's 2210 and 2210A, which is just
that's super
dumb.
weird. When you first get to this floor, they have this like cool shot of like the hallway, and the first thing I notice, the wallpaper on the walls in this hallway is the same as the carpet from The Shining.
It's the same pattern, but it's blue.
It's the same.
It's not the same
pattern,
color.
And I about lost my mind when that happened. I was like, "All right,
yeah."
All right.
It's not connected. It's the only reference, and I think it's just general
but it's like
haunted
a haunted hotel.
Yeah.
But we don't really get any of the other stuff. But we know that room is haunted because there's like some things with the employees. But the other thing is the like magical black man thing, which sometimes is the magical black woman thing. Where...
the magical black man in this movie, like at one point in time, he like pulls out like an old record and like a bottle of hooch. Like he's gonna have to deal with this stuff.
No, not a record, like a manila folder.
Records.
Oh, you said record.
Yeah, like an old record. Like no, not a vinyl.
Like a file folder of stuff.
Yeah, like an old police record kind of thing, and pulls out a bottle of hooch, and he's like, I'm gonna have to deal with this shit. Yeah. And then like there's like a chubby white manager guy who's like nobody's gonna believe your ghost stories, nobody likes you, whatever. But
he also is the person who booked 2210 after 2210A after the girl was being like a bitch to him.
Yeah.
And he seems like he's the only one that is booking these rooms and is doing it for vengeance. That is like the ultimate retail hospitality.
But it's not even like,
I guess.
But, like, we don't know that there's any connection there.
Yeah,
so
but,
it's not
vengeance.
Really it's like, this chick was a bitch to him, except we don't know, like, was the other chick a bitch to him? Why, you know, so there's no rules.
I'm drawing that line. He gives that room out to people that are mean to him.
But that would mean that he's aware of the fact that they're dying. But
maybe
at
not
no indication
dying,
do we get...
Because we don't know for sure that the people in this movie died.
I mean, we kind of do.
I mean, a couple of them, yes, but most of them,
like that one girl had a whole cell phone down her neck.
Well, but she's seemed
dead.
to be fine afterwards.
Nah.
I mean...
Also, the magical black man definitely died.
Oh, he definitely died. Yes,
yeah,
but also he died like how the old.
Also, everybody's death is that they just disappear.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm saying you don't really know if everybody dies. But I thought this was fantastic. Like,
it was a great movie.
There were some things that could have been tightened up, but overall,
it needs another 45 minutes of story.
I want another 45 minutes. I'll take another hour and 45 minutes. Yes, please.
I mean...
Yes, please. Come on, say it with me. Yes, please.
No, that's dumb. Only if they have somebody write better, really, is what the problem is.
No, this was fantastic.
It was, I think the movie really relied on the fact that it was directed and the cinematography on it were phenomenal. I mean, like almost second to fucking none levels of phenomenal.
This movie
the cinematography was fantastic.
Like, on the edge of our seat
it was
the entire time.
The background is full of haunts and creepy
the foreshadowing
shit.
And the jump scares were
all of that's
like,
good. And
top notch.
In general,
Top
the connection
notch.
to it being like famous YouTubers and there being some sort of a kidnappy vibe on it. Although, like, only one kid got kidnapped, but they never really addressed that. It's what they need is they need somebody to come in and really the movie doesn't need a sequel. The movie simply needs like another hour's worth of content that sort of fills it out and not fills out with the character. Like we get the characters. Hey, this is a YouTuber who's like got like whatever 6 million subscribers and she's famous and she wants to retire because she's tired of having to live her life in the limelight. And this one is going through romance problems, and this girl's just trying to help out her friend. Like all the characters are there, right? It's not the characters are written poorly. It's literally just that the haunt, the horror part of the movie, has no logical throughness, right? It's not if you're an asshole. It's not if you're on the internet because the magical black man died. No internet on him.
We didn't get the person explaining to us like what the thing is. Well, like we kind of got it a little bit when the kid is like Googling and he like learns a little bit of stuff. But usually in that motion,
he learns shit that we kind of already learned from the
he learned that stuff that we already kind of knew. But also like usually when that happens, you have that pivotal moment where the person who, like, the magical black person, or whoever the magical person is who knows about all this stuff.
Magical old lady.
Yeah, the magical old person of some sort. Like, they're the ones who know, and then they impart the knowledge to one of the kids in the haunt.
Yeah.
And then they can go and they can save it. And they can fix it, and they can figure it out. But it feels like they edited out that whole part. And the magical black man from the hotel is supposed to be the one telling us this, but we missed it because he did the same thing that the Shining guy did. He was there, and then he tried to save them, and then he died from saving them. But we missed that middle part where he talks about what the thing is that happened, or why you should be worried about it, or whatever the case. Like, we missed the thread for what it is, and it gives us only questions, which honestly, you could chalk up to like a problem with the writing, but honestly, I'm okay with it. It feels raw.
It's fine.
It feels like
it doesn't
you
make any
witnessed that
consistent sense within itself.
So
also, having a character explain what the haunt is the lowest common denominator for writing. Show us. They literally could have thrown in 2 additional 30-second scenes in that first 2-minute block. Everything would have made sense.
Yeah, but you know what?
But they didn't give us any of the...
it feels
unfinished.
It does feel a little unfinished.
It certainly doesn't feel real. All of those people. It feels
raw, and it feels real, and it feels unfinished.
Young people.
Like, if you were watching this horror movie unfold as, like, a bystander, you know, fly on the wall kind of thing, you wouldn't get any more information than what it was that we got. So we got what those people have. And, yeah, I guess it would follow rules,
right?
But the rule was enter the hotel room and you die.
Well, except for the young kid who entered the hotel room and didn't die. Both the little girl, the little Asian girl, and the guy who delivered the basket and came back to do the light bulbs.
Oh, you know what? And the hospitality lady.
And the hospitality lady.
Survived.
She didn't die, and she survived. And she even got a fright. Best scare of the fucking movie.
Yeah.
And she didn't see it. She's like removing pillowcases and stuff like that. And she like grabs the blanket and does one of these and shakes it out and throws it behind her and goes to grab another pillow and the blanket falls on like a figure. But there was no figure there before and there's like no jump cuts in it. It's absolutely fantastic. So it's a really well done movie, but it's not that the writing clearly didn't figure out what they wanted to do for the haunt, right? And that's what the problem is. It's like, if it was the internet, then why did a couple of characters die that weren't connected to the internet? Was it, and if so, you know, whatever, that would make the most amount of sense, except the magical old black man died.
See, I'm gonna take the counterpoint
and
on
you
this.
get into the hotel room, you're gonna die, except we have a huge number of people who went into the hotel room didn't die at all. The fucking, I mean, it's that thing where it's like the fucking friend, she goes in there, she dies, right? But like the maid, she's fucking fine.
No, see, I'm going to take counterpoint on this because when a lot of people talk about horror movies, they say that the scariest thing in a horror movie is not showing the creature, right? So,
I mean, they show the creature in this.
They show the creature in this, but you know what? They don't show
that kid is everywhere, dude.
They don't show you the why of it. So now you're left wondering, and what your mind spins into wondering is ultimately going to be far more intricate, complicated, and probably scary than what they would have written into it. So I think that they're taking the not answered questions and they're really spinning it into, okay, well, we showed you the creature because you see the creature, you see the little boy, you see the haunts, or you see the ghosts or whatever they are, we don't really know, but you don't know the why and you don't really know the how, nor do you know the fix to these things like you normally find out.
I don't care about the fix part.
So
that's
to me,
that's
I think that's really cool because like I remember seeing like The Grudge the first time, and I was like, oh man, that is fucking scary. I've got one of those like attic things. I am never going in there again. Fuck that. And then you find out like, and you're just like, oh man, this ghost is like super scary. And then you find out like really why the ghost is there. And you're like, oh, they were just like really mad? Oh.
Well, you don't.
And I feel like it kind of stole the thunder from it.
But so The Grudge still followed some sort of interior logic, right?
The logic is that this ghost is erratic.
Probably, kinda, if you go in the room, or maybe are connected to the internet. Well, but
I'm gonna go with probably, kinda enter the room because, like, think about it. Okay, so think about it like this: if you have a hotel, right now in now times, if you are the owner of a hotel and you have a room that there's been more than someone murdered in and you know like weird things connected to the room, but like it's not all the time, okay, you can probably still keep that open and you just try not to rent that room out, right? But like if you've got a room where every time somebody enters they die, now you've got a whole nother problem as the owner of a hotel. You can't just ignore that, nor can you just not rent that room out. Like you can't just block that shit up. I mean, like you could,
they
right?
They clearly indicated that.
So that room, would mean
before this time, the room hadn't been rented out for quite a while.
Well, we don't know how long it had been. Maybe people
that's why he said
like
you rented that room out. You know we're not supposed to, or whatever the fuck at the beginning, which changed their mind at the end. But
he didn't say how long it had been, so you don't know. So it's intermittent. So whatever it is,
but there has to be a trigger, right? I mean, like, what is this kid like strategically working with a business partner?
Maybe the trigger is random.
This? No, it's I get it, and it's a good movie, you know, and like you don't want to look at the fucking bad side of it, but it was in general the fact that they didn't give rules for the haunts is far and away the biggest flaw in this movie.
See,
is that there's no consistent logic in it.
Because it made
can
it
the
so
haunt
that
extend outside? Because the haunt was not even in the hotel room. At one point in time, the girl was possessed outside of the hotel room.
Yes.
Right? So, like, what does this kid just, like, run downtown Los Angeles? Some fucking ghost kid?
Wherever it is. But, like, here's the thing is that makes it scarier, because you don't know. Right? We watch a lot of horror movies, and we know the formula, and we can pretty much predict when it's going to happen. But, like, I mean, I wasn't scared by this. I don't get scared by movies. But,
Sure.
I don't get scared by movies. Except
it really
wasn't in Toyland when I was a small child.
It really wasn't a scary movie.
Recurring nightmares about that for a long time. But, like, the thing is that makes it scarier because you don't know. Like, the whole idea about why, like, Jaws is scary, or, like, shark attacks are scary, or earthquakes are scary, or things like that are scary is because they seemingly strike at random. You don't know if that's going to get you. So when you watch a movie like this, you kind of, like, a small part of your mind is kind of like, wow, I mean, like, could I have stayed in a hotel that was haunted like this and never known?
I mean, I literally did not have that thought until you just said that, and no, that's dumb. No, that's not at all what I was thinking.
You're the worst.
It's you know what? It's that thing where like you know, praise it for changing the way that we're doing a thing, but also like it just means a writer didn't have to finish.
No, man, I'm stand this. I'm standing this. Like
You're standing this?
No, I'm standing this.
Standing this?
Do you not know what that word means?
I don't know what she's talking about, guys.
Oh boy. All right.
Like Stanley Tucci?
Like, no, but I hear he makes a good drink.
Like Stan from American Dad?
No.
All right. Those are the two Stans I know.
Right.
If you know me, your name's Stan, let me know if you have some weird thing about not completely fully written movies. Let us know what's going on here.
Yeah. Have you guys seen this? What do you think? I really want to talk some conspiracy theories about this movie, and clearly I'm not getting anywhere with this.
No. It's just what happens when you don't finish writing a movie.
I would give this
90% of a movie
5 vodka bottles out of 5 bunny balloons. I was really into it. A more fleshed out story would give it probably 6 or 7 out of 5.
Yeah. Well, yeah, just a little bit of consistency is really kind of what's going on there.
Make it wild, make it crazy, make it unpredictable.
Yeah, well.
Make it not make sense.
It can not make sense.
Make it weird.
It still has to have rules. It's a movie.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to have rules.
It's gotta follow its own rules. That's
Nope.
That's called a plot.
I mean, I feel like
it's just a series of random images.
Scream Logic definitely agrees with you there, but I'm gonna say make it weird.
Yeah.
Make it weird. Either way,
yeah.
This has been Review Jive for Deadcon, which you can see on Netflix. Deadcon. And watch it. Let us know what you thought.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think the thing is, because I don't know.
Tell us what you think.
Double peace signs. Like the thing.
Like the thing?
Like the symbol. I was gonna do it, but then I was like, I can't throw up gang symbols. That's not good.
Jesus fucking Christ! It's like 10:20, and so she's 4 hours past her fucking bedtime.
Yeah.
You gotta let the children go to sleep, guys.
I've been around for 1,000,000 years, and
she requires an unnecessary amount of sleep. Is
bedtime.
What that is.
Either way, like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell us what you thought. Watch this movie.
Yeah. I've been John Norgrove. This has been Wife. This is Review Jive. We watched Deadcon. And keep writing, guys. You'll get there one day.